Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that is pretty interesting and could possibly pertain to a future Grand Theft Auto Online DLC. So obviously, we know that the last update we got in Grand Theft Auto Online officially has been import or export, and it was a pretty awesome DLC nonetheless that featured a lot of brand new vehicles, but the big part of it was owning and acquiring vehicle warehouses and then using that warehouse to source and then sell, importing, and exporting vehicles. Now, one of the biggest complaints I hear the most about these vehicle warehouses is two things. Number one, the size. For whatever reason, there's only one size vehicle warehouse, and some people might want a much larger one, and some people might want a smaller one, depending on how many vehicles they want or how often they do these missions. So that's number one. And number two, the fact that there's only 9 warehouse locations in the game, all of them being pretty centric around like the southeastern/southwestern part of Los Santos. So there's not a whole lot of variety here in terms of where they're located and also the individual design and shape of the warehouses themselves. They all, for the most part, are the same, and regardless of the price, they aren't any different. The only thing that matters is location. So when you end up buying a vehicle warehouse, the only thing you're paying for is price. However, a user on the GTA Online Reddit has actually discovered something pretty interesting. I am completely going to botch his name. It's I'm T Sukyet, something like that. Hopefully that wasn't a terrible botch of your name. He has actually found a very mysterious vehicle warehouse that isn't usable, but gives off a mysterious message that said it could have been used in either import or export, or maybe a future DLC. So this is the vehicle warehouse right here. It's very close to the strip club and Benny's. And what's also interesting is this vehicle warehouse kind of gives off a Tuners and Outlaws vibe to it as well. I'll explain that in a little bit, but you can see as we go up to the door, the garage door, it says this vehicle cannot be stored here. This warehouse is for vehicle cargo and special personal vehicles only. Now, what's very, very interesting about that is that is the exact same message you get when you drive a normal vehicle into an actual vehicle warehouse. So you can see right here, I'm trying to do this with my Nero, and when I drive up to the doors, I get the exact same message that this vehicle cannot be stored here. This warehouse is for vehicle cargo and special personal vehicles only. So that is incredibly mysterious that this location looks to have been a vehicle warehouse for import, export, or could be something different that points us in the direction of a future DLC. Now, before I go too crazy here, there is always the possibility that this was just a cut location from the original import, export DLC. There's a lot of different possibilities here. Maybe the location was too good. Maybe it was too close to the offices. Maybe there was something about the garage door or one of the other entrances that didn't work all that well. Like I said, there is a ton of different possibilities here, but to me, this indicates that Rockstar could be working on either an import-export part 2 that features new vehicle warehouses, or this could be for some sort of like Tuners and Outlaws style vehicle, because on the garage itself, it says foreign and domestic. Now, that could be for a number of things. Foreign and domestic could easily mean import-export, but it could also be something along the lines of Tuner style vehicles, which we would consider more import, and then domestic would definitely be more of like the Outlaw style vehicles, more like the American Outlaw cars that we would expect to see in some sort of Tuners and Outlaws style DLC. Now, getting back to this vehicle warehouse itself, obviously one of the garage doors works and gives you that message, but one of the other ones does not. So I don't really know, like I said, if Rockstar had trouble with this warehouse, or maybe that's one of the reasons why it was cut, but it does have foreign and domestic written all over it, on the front, on the top, and maybe that's just some aesthetic designs for the vehicle warehouse itself, and maybe that has nothing to do with the potential contents, because this really wouldn't be the first time that Rockstar has done something like this in game. I mean, there are plenty of examples of other buildings, of other garage, of other auto shops that simply aren't used for anything in either GTA 5 or Grand Theft Auto Online. For example, there's this auto shop that's located right next to my vehicle warehouse that would be perfect for like a new sort of garage, maybe like a Tuners and Outlaws import-export garage. However, it doesn't have a use. and it's located right in the middle of Vagos gang territory, right next to this vehicle warehouse. So there's plenty of examples like that. And even on the graffiti on the writing itself, it says that it's like a tuning style garage. So again, lots of things that Rockstar do that just don't make sense. And also, if we take this even a step further, if we go up to the Grapeseed Airport, there is one of the hangars that literally says import/export. And that's been there since day one. And I don't think Rockstar utilized this hangar once from the import-export mission. So on the top, you can see in red writing, it says Mackenzie Import/Exports. That's one place where it says. And then on the side, it also says Mackenzie Field Import/Export. Contact Mr. X. So I don't know who Mr. X is. Obviously, this was in the game since day one. But it just goes to show you that even though something like this is in the game, Rockstar might not necessarily utilize it, or they could be saving it for a part 2. However, going back to the original vehicle warehouse that we were looking at today, it's still just very interesting that this message pops up. It's got to be either a bug or a glitch, or Rockstar was planning for more vehicle warehouses to be introduced in some sort of import-export part 2. And this also kind of backs up something else that was found by the Grand Theft Auto Online beta hunters. They found that in the files, the vehicle warehouses are listed under the code medium. So if there was only one size vehicle warehouse, why would you call it medium? Does that mean that there were small and large vehicle warehouses that was cut from the original import-export DLC, and that either a part 2 or an expansion of it might see smaller size warehouses and larger size warehouses? Again, that's getting into a little bit of a guessing game right there, but it still doesn't make sense that in the original kind of CEO DLC, Finance and Felony, when we could buy warehouses, there was a size for small, medium, and large, depending on, number one, what your budget was, but also, number two, what you wanted to do in terms of filling up your warehouse and how many missions you wanted to be. So why would they offer us 3 size warehouses in the CEO stuff, but not in the import-export stuff, only offering us 1 size? I don't think that's intentional there, and it does make me wonder if Rockstar ever has plans to expand those warehouses. And another thing about that is it mentioned special personal vehicles. I know that those were some of the most popular things from import-export 2, like the Ruiner 2000, the Rocket Voltic, and it kind of makes me wonder, will Rockstar expand on those vehicles? Clearly, it's good for them. They're very expensive, which means people are going to buy shark cards in order to fund them. So I'm wondering what sort of other special vehicles Rockstar could add if they were to do an expansion. Maybe something along the lines of the jetpack as a special vehicle. Who says that Rockstar just has to make them cars? Maybe they could do jetpacks. I'm sure they could tie something into solving the Chiliad mystery with something like that, one of Grand Theft Auto 5's biggest mysteries. So that right there could be super cool. Now, it seems as if Rockstar use regular vehicles and then turn them into kind of specialized versions. So maybe they could use something like the Zentorno or the X80 and turn that into some like Batmobile style vehicle. That could be pretty awesome as well. I'd also love Rockstar to add one vehicle from GTA Vice City. That is the Deluxo. They could make this probably a special vehicle only. And you guys know the Deluxo is based off of the DeLorean, which was made famous in Back to the Future by being able to time travel when it reached 88 miles an hour. Maybe Rockstar could do like a DeLorean that has some sort of time travel feature. That could be pretty epic. And kind of building off the jetpack, I'd love for them to expand outside of just cars. I know that a lot of the vehicles in import-export, especially those special ones, kind of were like a hybrid, like they go from land to sea or air to sea or something like that. But I'd like to see maybe a special vehicle helicopter or a special vehicle plane. That could be pretty awesome too. And I think there's a lot of creative things that Rockstar could do here, especially building off of the cars and vehicles that we already have in the game. One super popular request I've seen regarding special vehicles is to make the JB700 actually use some of the features it has from the campaign, which is to drop like spikes on the road and to use the turreted machine guns on the front, just like in the James Bond movies. And that would actually be really cool. The only problem I'm worried about that is Rockstar like super hiking up the price. I don't know how much it is right now on the in-game vehicle website, but boy, I can imagine that that would probably be like $3 or $4 million if Rockstar were to end up up pricing something like that, especially given the fact how popular the JB700 is as well. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you have any other suggestions as far as what cool special vehicles could be added into the game, whether they're from other TV shows or movies. Just let me know in the comment section down below. So really, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. I'm pretty curious what you think this vehicle warehouse message means. Do you think it's just a bug? Do you think it's just a glitch? Or do you think it means Rockstar really does have plans for a continuation of the import-export DLC? Keep in mind, Rockstar have been doing an expansion of the criminal enterprise stuff all the way since 2015. It started with executives and other criminals, finance and felony, biker stuff, now import-export. So it really wouldn't surprise me if they had more planned here and if they were going to start doing more things that involve vehicle warehouses and online. But like I said, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys there. If you did go on and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.